Hello, everybody, and welcome back. Welcome back to another one of my videos. My name is Riss, and today we're going to be talking about all the books on my spring TBR. So I made a list. I didn't make a list. I pulled all the books that are on my unread shelf, and I'm going to go through all of the books that I want to read for spring. Let me tell you something. This video I think is going up on Friday the 20th. Spring is the 21st. So you can watch this on the last day of winter, knowing it's the last day of winter, and then we're in spring, which is great. I feel like winter really said, like, it's not winter until the 20th, because it was warm for like 2-3 days, and then it's like back in the 30s now. I'm shocked. I'm shook. I'm ready for warm weather. I'm ready for the summer. I'm ready just to be able to sit on my patio and tan and read a book. That's all I want to do with my life. Honestly, just want to sit and I want to tan. I want to read. We can't do that yet. First, we gotta get through spring. Okay, I'm going off topic here. We are gonna go through all the books I'm gonna read, hopefully this spring. There are some books that I'm also keeping from my winter TBR because I feel like they might also have like a springish vibe. I don't know. I don't have my bookshelf with me right now because we're in the process of like moving that bookshelf downstairs because we have a desk now in that space. Anyway, it's a whole thing. Let's go through all my books. I've just said that for the third time now. Okay. Let's do this. First book I want to read. Some of these books also will be in some reading vlogs. An April, May, and June. Well, I have a March one. Technically, that's going to come out in spring. So I have a March, I have an April one, and I have a May one. So tell me in the comments below what you think those books, those like vlogs, you think they will be. Tell me in the comments below what vlogs you think I'm going to make from the books that I have read here. First book we have is A Million Junes by Emily Henry. Listen, I want to read her backlog so bad. I have no idea what this book is about. Honestly, the only reason why I got the book of the month subscription is because, well, let me take you back to when Funny Story first came out. When Funny Story first came out, my friends and I got tickets to an indie bookstore that was having like a whole event of Emily Henry, and like they were giving out like the book, like the ticket came with like a book, a bookmark, some pens, some pins, some stickers. It was a really fun time. There was like a scavenger hunt, and like it was in an indie bookstore. So it was just like a really good, fun time. I went with my friends. We got hot chicken beforehand. It was just a really good, fun, amazing time. Like, I hope she does something like that again. She didn't do that for Great Big Beautiful Life, or unless she did and we just missed something like that. But anyway, I say all that to say, the reason why I got my book of the book of the month subscription is because Funny Story was the first physical copy I've ever gotten of an Emily Henry book, right? So after that, I just wanted all of the hardcover books for Emily Henry. So, and book of the month has, I want to say, Beach Read, People Who Meet on Vacation, this book, and that's it. Yeah. That's the only way you get a hard copy book, unless you get like the exclusive editions that are coming out now of those 3 copies that I just named. So yeah, I have a book of the month subscription so I could have Emily Henry hardcover books so they all match. You know, just girly things. So this book, I want to read you a little bit of the synopsis. I'm not going to read all of the synopsises for every single book on here because that would take a long time, and I feel like you guys just want to see the books that I'm reading. You don't really care about every single thing of what I read. Okay, so But when June collides, quite literally, with Saul anger, sparks fly, and everything June has always known is thrown into chaos. Who exactly is this gruff, sarcastic, but seemingly harmless boy who has returned to their hometown of Five Fingers, Michigan? Another Michigan book, after 3 mysterious years away. And why has June, an O'Donnell to her core, never questioned her late father's deep hatred of the Argerett family? After all, the O'Donnells and the Argeretts may have mythical legacies, but for all the tall tales they weave, both founding families are tight-lipped about what caused the century-old rift between them. Wow. So basically, this is about 2 people, and they're low-key in love, but their parents hate each other. And, like, it's a little bit of, like, magical realism with that. Wow. Oh, wow. Look at that, too. The font is so big. How many pages is this book? 391 pages. Okay. Book number 2, another Kristen Hanna book. This book was on my mom's shelf, and I just took it when I moved out. I said, yeah, this one's coming home with me. I have no idea what this book is about, to be completely honest with you, but I know it's Kristen Hanna, so I'm reading it. I feel like I'm gonna love this book. I feel like anything she writes, I'm here for it. You know what I mean? So, book number 2. This is a classic. This is called What Katie Did. It's about a 12-year-old. An awful accident happens, and her hopes for the future seem more and more out of reach. Wow. Books like these are like a good palette cleanser. You know what I mean? And I feel like the cover is so cute. Like, they're just so stinking cute. This book, Infamous. Now, listen, if you've seen this book on my 26 books I want to read in 2026, you didn't. I don't know why this is here. I don't know why I switched it out. I think maybe because this is like book 1 in a series. Oh, this is book 2 in a series. And I wanted to read book 1 first. I think that's actually what happened. I think I learned that this is book 1 in a series. And this is basically like a sapphic Bridgerton. Booksmart meets Bridgerton. So yeah, if you've been here for a minute, you know I love Bridgerton. I love historical romance. So this is right up my alley. So yeah, I think I wanted to read the first one beforehand. I don't know if they're interconnected standalones, but either way, even if they are interconnected standalones, I don't like reading them out of order. I like reading them in the order that they're published and written. So, Infamous by Lex Croucher. And I gotta get the first book. Or I'll probably pick it up from the library, to be completely honest with you. This is another book that I've been really wanting to get to. This is The Compound. I've heard this book is like Love Island meets like dystopian. It's basically like people on this reality TV show are fighting for like real life things. They're having like a nice little vacation, but like in the back, like people are dying. You know, I feel like that's what this book is about. People are on this reality TV show, but like in the real world, people are dying. Kind of like right now. I have not heard good things about it, but I want to see for myself before I like write it off. You know what I mean? Finding Me by Viola Davis. There's gonna be a couple of memoirs in here because I feel like spring is like, I don't know, very like memoir-y for some reason for me. I don't know what it is about it. I just feel that way. So this book is about Viola Davis. Duh. Actually, my husband and I were like, we had like this little moment in time where we would like buddy read, aka we would like sit down and like read to each other like a chapter, like we'd go back and forth. And this was like one of the books that like we started, but then we stopped because in reality my husband hates reading and he didn't find it fun. So now I have this book and I really want to get to it. I feel like everybody I know, look how cute she is. Oh my god, stop. Look at her little butt. Oh my god, stop. I think I'm getting baby fever. I'm not gonna hold you. Anyway, of course I want to get to this book, and it might be in a video. Who knows? We'll see. Hopefully. I feel like when I say that they're gonna be in a video, most of the time they don't make it to the video because either I've run out of time or like I just don't like the book. But I have a feeling I'm really gonna like that book because I really like Viola Davis. So yeah. The Wedding Engagement. This book, I don't know anything about it, but it looks cute. It looks like a cute little contemporary romance. So, oh my God, look at the little Highland cow on the back. Oh my God, she's on the front too. How cute. So I'm guessing this is basically like a brother's best friend meets like my friend and your friend are getting married, and like we somehow happen to be like the best man and the maid of honor, and we have to work together, and then like we fall in love. That's what this is giving me. So, okay, cute. It looks like it's gonna be in Scotland at the same time. So yeah, I'm excited. I've not heard about this. I think I got this book from a free little library. So I've not heard one single thing about this book. When was this book published? October 2024. Fairly new. Little Women. I have had this book forever. Again, if you have been around my channel for a minute, you will know I've had this. This is like the longest. This is the book I've had on my TBR for the longest amount of time. I got this book when I was like maybe in 2nd grade. And I'm gonna read it this spring. I am. I really am. So, boom. I want to do it. Next book, Bossy Pants by Tina Fey. My husband and I just finished watching 30 Rock like a month ago. I think 30 Rock is one of my favorite sitcoms of all time. Just because of Tracy Jordan. Like, everything that man said, I was dying laughing. Like, he is so funny, and I love Tina Fey. I feel like she's a comedic genius. She's done so much for the comedy world. There's just photos in here too. I love that. I love a picture book. She knew her audience. When the Sky Fell on Splendor by Emily Henry. This, I think, is her 3rd book ever, I want to say. Almost everyone in the small town of Splendor, Ohio was affected when the local steam mill exploded. If you weren't a casualty of the accident yourself, chances are a loved one was. That's the case for 17-year-old Franny, who 5 years after the explosion still had to stand by and do nothing as her brother lies in a coma. In the wake of the tragedy, Franny found solace in a group of friends whose experiences mirrored her own. The group calls themselves The Ordinary, and they spend their free time investigating local ghost stories and legends, filming their exploits for their small following of YouTube fans. It's silly, it's fun, and it keeps them from dwelling on the sadness that surrounds them, until one evening when the strange and dangerous thing they film isn't fiction. It's a bright light, something massive hurtling towards them from the sky. And when it crashes and the teen goes to investigate, everything changes. First of all, I want to say Emily Henry picks out like the best names for her characters. I feel like there's not like Daphne. When Daphne, I was like, Daphne, that's beautiful. January, never heard someone call that before in my life. Poppy, I feel like it's just cute. It reminds me of the Animal Crossing character. Who else is there? Nora. I feel like Nora's kind of like whatever, but like she's one of my favorites. So who cares? Who is this girl? Franny. That's so cute. Franny. Like, they're just so like, I don't want to say whimsical, but they're just so different. Like, they're so different, but they're not like too different to where it's like, who would name their kid that? But it's like, oh, that's such a cute name, you know? Next book, You with a View. This book I know is about a boy and a girl, and they don't like each other. And then either, I think they go on a road trip with either his grandfather or her grandfather, like the 3 of them together, to find the grandfather's lost love, and on the way they fall in love as well, supposedly. Oh, so what happens is her grandmother falls in love with his grandfather, and they meet on TikTok, which is crazy. And then they don't like each other, but then they end up, you know, probably falling in love, because it is a romance novel, so duh. Oh, and they knew each other. 2 former high school enemies. Okay. Cute. It does sound cute. I'm a sucker for old people. I really am. Next book. This is A Live Day by Carrie Forget. This is also a memoir. Carrie Forget is living out of her car in a Kmart parking lot when her boyfriend Cleve suggests, maybe we could get married or something. Carrie says yes to love and also to convenience. As a 20-year-old high school dropout who recently lost her job, Carrie has nowhere else to turn. Just months after they elope, Cleve's Marine unit is deployed to Iraq. Then Carrie gets the call. Cleve's Cleve's Humvee has been hit by an IED and he suffered severe injuries. As at Walter Reed Hospital, a fellow vet says to Cleve, "Happy Alive Day, man," marking the day he was given a second chance at life. Newlyweds, barely out of their teens, Carrie and Cleve are thrust into utterly foreign roles. Carrie tries to adapt to her job as a caregiver, navigating the labyrinth system of veteran affairs, hospital bureaucracies, and doctors who do little more than shrug when she raises concern about Cleve's dependency on painkillers. It is easy to Carrie that Cleve is using opioids to dull a pain that is more than physical. She catches his first overdose, but what if she can't save him a second time? Will she be able to save herself? Forget's story depicts an oft-overlooked reality of war, the experience of the many thousands of caregivers and spouses, mostly women, mostly young, mostly poor, whose lives have been shattered by battles fought against enemies abroad and against addiction at home. Tender, vivid, and laced with dark humor, Alive Day is at once an epic and engrossing love story, a testament to the resilience of the human spirit, and a powerful indictment of the sins of a nation. This book I found really intriguing, one, because my dad is also a vet, and I have also seen how hard it is for vets, to get the help they need, especially when like there's a whole like veterans hospital, veterans system that they kind of just like give them like the runaround a lot of the times. So I feel like that really struck a chord with me about how, like, you know, sometimes they just don't care. And then also I feel like, I don't know why I just have such a soft spot for like the opioid epidemic. Like every documentary that comes out about it, basically every documentary that comes out about it, I am watching it, I am being educated on it. Nobody I know in my family or around me had an addiction to opioids. Like nobody close to me, nobody like really far away from me either that I know of had an addiction to opioids. I don't know why I am so like invested in this. I really don't, but I am. So that also drew me to this book, which I'm very excited to read this as well. I feel like you don't really get a lot of stories like this, and I'm excited to read it. Next book, another Kristen Hanna, The Things We Do for Love. And look, you know how I love my little boy, my little baby cat boy? It's because he bit this book up. He bit this book up, and I still love him. He's not on the street. Oh my gosh. Again, this is one that my mom, I just took off her shelf. I was like, I'm taking this. Bye. Years of trying unsuccessfully to conceive a child have broken more than Angie DeSara's heart. Following a painful divorce, she moves back to her small Pacific Northwest hometown and takes over management of her family's restaurant. In the West End, where life arises and falls like the tides, Angie's fortunes will drastically change yet again when she meets and befriends a troubled young woman. I don't know, I feel like she does a lot of good like historical fiction, but when it's like contemporary fiction, I'm here for it as well, right? There's no like, yeah, it doesn't look like there's like any time jump, or like it feels contemporary is what I'm trying to say. This book I just got because of the cover. I'm not gonna hold you. Also, look, this, and then the spine, and then the back, and then boom, the hands. Look, I think this book is about, yeah, these two girls who are sisters, and one of them has cancer. This is like a family, I want to say it's like a family drama about a family who one of their children gets cancer. I was just so drawn to this cover. It's so bright, and I don't know, it just looks so good. This book is a classic. It's is it Leo? What is this book called? Is it called Leo Tolstoy, or is it Anna Karenina? It's Anna Karenina. You want to know something funny about this book? This book, I only have it because after my grandma died, this book was like one of the only books that like she physically had. Like she would get all her books from the library. I should learn a thing or two. My dad was like, oh, I'm gonna donate this. Do you want it? And I saw like that it's a classic. Never heard a thing about it. Never read it. But listen, it's supposed to be good, you know what I mean? Anna Karenina has beauty, social position, wealth, a husband, and an adored son, but her existence seems empty. When she meets the dashing officer, Count Vronsky, she rejects her marriage and turns to him to fulfill her passionate nature with devastating results. One of the world's greatest novels, Anna Karenina, is both an immortal drama of personal conflict and social scandal and a vivid, richly textured paranormal of 19th century Russia. Russia? I don't know nothing about this book. Okay, shoot. It is a classic. How many pages is this? This is heavy. Oh, dang. There's an index back here? Oh my God. 805. All right. I'll try. I will. I'll try. Heart of the Matter. I think this is like book 1 of 3, I want to say, or book 1 of 2. Tia Russo is a stay-at-home mother of 2 young children and the wife of a renowned pediatric surgeon. Valerie Anderson is an attorney and single mother to 6-year-old Charlie, a boy who has never known his father. Although both women live in the same Boston suburb, they are strangers to one another and have little in common aside from a fierce love for their children. But one night, a tragic accident causes their lives to converge in ways no one could have imagined. This is the moving, luminous story of good people caught in an untenable circumstances, each being tested in ways they never thought possible, each questioning everything they once believed, and each ultimately discovering what truly matters most. That sounds really good. Hello, Girls. This is by Brittany Cavallio and Emily Henry. So this is a book that Emily Henry wrote with somebody else. For Winona Olsen and Lucille Paris, that fire happens the night they met outside the police station, both deciding whether to turn their families in. Shy, restrained Winona has been starving for life in the seemingly perfect home she shares with her seemingly perfect father, celebrity weatherman Stormy Olsen. No one knows that he locks the pantry door to control her eating and leaves bruises where no one could see them. Tough on the outside, Lucille has been suffocating beneath the needs of her mother and her drug-dealing brother, wondering that there's more out there for her than disappearing waitress tips and a lifetime of barely getting by. One harrowing night, Winona and Lucia realize they can't wait until graduation to start their new lives. They need out now. All they need is $3,000 fast, and really a stolen convertible to take them from Michigan to Las Vegas can't hurt. A darkly funny, razor-sharp collaboration between Brittany Cavallio and Emily Henry. Hello, Girls is the unforgettable story of 2 young women who are filled with equal parts rage and love and must reclaim their power if they're ever going to get away with their daring escape. That sounds good. Also, I'm obsessed with this cover. The colors and the girls. Hello. I love that. Let's do these 2 at the same time. I also have more classics. Peter Pan and The Secret Garden. So, yes, 2 more classics. A lot of classics in here. I didn't plan that at all. Run by Anne Patchett. She also wrote that one. I think it's called, I don't know what it's called. But she wrote another book, and it was narrated by Meryl Streep, like the audiobook. So this is another book by her. I did not read that book that I'm thinking of, that I can't think of the name of. Did not. So anyway, since their mother's death, Tip and Teddy Doyle have been raised by their loving, possessive, and ambitious father. As the former mayor of Boston, Bernard Doyle wants to see his sons in politics, a dream the boys have never shared. But when an argument in a blinding New England snowstorm inadvertently causes an accident that involves a stranger and her child, all Bernard cares about is his ability to keep all his children safe. All his children? Interesting. I love how many accidents are happening, like, in these books. Like, is that just like a springtime thing? The weather gets warmer, people just get crazy? Like, calm down. Another book. Listen, I have so many John Green books. I think 2 that I haven't read, that I have like from when I was like in high school. And this is one of them. The Abundance of Catherines. When it comes to relationships, Colin Singleton's type is girls named Catherine. And when it comes to girls named Catherine, Colin is always getting dumped. 19 times to be exact. Colin is on a mission to prove the theorem of underlying Catherine. Predictability, which he hopes will predict the future of any relationship and avenge dumpies everywhere. And may finally win him the girl. Interesting. This is 20th Girl by Sophia Kingsley. She wrote, Confessions of a Shopaholic. I loved that book so much. I thought it was so funny. I thought it was so funny. Like, it was very like lighthearted and like not really whimsical, but it was just very like lighthearted and just like a feel good book, you know, and it was so funny. I feel like it didn't mean to be that funny, but it was so funny. It was a really good time. When the spirit of Laura's great aunt Sadie, a feisty, demanding girl with firm ideas about fashion, love, and the right way to dance, mysteriously appears, she has one request. Laura must find a missing necklace that has been in Sadie's possession for more than 75 years because Sadie cannot rest without it. Dang. Okay, I'm guessing that's a necklace. Cute. Sheltering Rain by Jojo Moyes. I love Jojo Moyes. Jojo Moyes is one of my favorite authors, like, ever. And I thought this cover, like, screamed spring. Like, just the rain falling, because April showers bring May flowers, you know? And yeah, I just love everything that Jojo Moyes writes. Estranged from her mother since she ran away from her rural Irish home as a young woman, Kate swore a future oath that she'd always be a friend to her daughter, Sabine? Sabine, but history has a way of repeating itself, and Kate now faces an ever-widening chasm between herself and her daughter. Would Sabine, about to make her own journey to Ireland to see her grandmother, Kate, abandoned, Kate is left wondering how they ever made it here and what she will do to close the gap between them. For Joy, seeing her granddaughter is a dream come true. After the painful separation from Kate, she's looking forward to having some time with Sabine. Yet, almost as soon as the young woman arrives, a lack of common ground between them deflates her enthusiasm. And when Sabine's impetuous, inquisitive nature forces Joy to face long-buried secrets from her past, she realizes that perhaps it's time to finally heal old wounds. I promise you, I could read. This next book is 9 Perfect Strangers, which this book, this author wrote Big Little Lies. I watched that TV show. I thought it was amazing. It was like a really short TV show. It was like 9 episodes. I thought it was so good. There were like some really heavy hitters in that show. So if you haven't seen it, I recommend it. And I think this also is a show on Hulu, I want to say. 9 people gather at a remote health resort. Some to lose weight, some to reboot their lives for some reason they can't even admit to themselves. They know these 10 days might involve some real work, but none of them can imagine just how challenging the next 10 days will be. Frances Weltley arrives nursing a bad back and a broken heart. I'm kind of excited. I love like reading the books and then watching the shows. Maybe I'll do that. This One Last Stop. This book I like soft DNF'd in the summertime just because I just wasn't in the mood to read it, but it's about these 2 girls. This one girl, she keeps on running into this other girl on the subway, and they're like having like this like miscommunication type thing where like they like just like are about to like really start talking to each other and like really get into like getting to know each other, but then like their stop comes up and they have to go. And like the girl is like, would it be so weird if I like just, she doesn't say this out loud, but she thinks to herself like, would it be so weird if I just like stayed on the subway and missed my stop to talk to her? And she thinks to herself, yes. So she gets off. And like I feel like the book is just about them like finding each other throughout New York City, because that's where the setting is. And yeah, this is also by Casey McQuiston, who also wrote Red, White, and Royal Blue. So, and then we have Hooked by Emily McIntyre. I think this is like a darker romance. I don't know if it's like a dark romance, like a straight dark romance, or if it's more like a darker-ish romance, but it's a Peter Pan retelling, but where Captain Hook is the love interest. And I don't know who's the girl falling in love with him. Is it Wendy? That would be crazy if it was Wendy. Look at me take off the sticker. Everybody's always like, oh, I hate the stickers. I hate the sticker. Just take them off. I promise you could do it. It's not that hard. I'm a picker. I could do it really easily. That's my secret talent. Taking stickers off books without leaving a mark. Who's the girl? Who's the girl? Wendy. It is Wendy. But she's 20 years old and she's Peter's daughter. Wow. I really want to get into like more of her work, like with The Scarred and The Wretched. I wonder who's Wretched. And another book we have is Sarah McLean, 9 rules to break when romancing a rake, which Emily Henry has a little blurb on. So also one of the reasons why I got it. This is a historical romance book, which is why I got it. Again, love historical romance. One of my favorite genres, tropes, whatever you want to call it. I guess it's a genre. It's a subgenre. This book I've been wanting to read for so long. I don't know what it is about it, but the cover I think is absolutely gorgeous. Ever since she got pregnant freshman year, Imani Santiago's life has been about making the tough decisions, doing what has to be done for her daughter and her abuela. The one place she can let all that go is in the kitchen, where she adds a little something magical to everything she cooks, turning her food into straight up goodness. Even though she dreams of working as a chef after she graduates, Imani knows that it's not worth her time to pursue the impossible. Yet despite the rules she thinks she has time to play by, once Imani starts cooking, her only choice is to let her talent break free. I love a good cooking book. I really do. And that cover is just so gorgeous. I think it's like the prettiest cover I own. This book has been following me around everywhere. If you saw my going through my entire physical TBR, you would know the story about this book, but I'm gonna tell you again anyways. So basically, I had the soft cover of this book, right? I got it from a free little library. I realized I don't really want it anymore. I don't think I'm gonna read it. So I gave it to someone. I don't know who I gave it to. But then this used bookstore I go to has this thing where like you could drop off books, which I think used bookstores, like, if you're gonna drop off books, buy them. Also, buy them. Don't just be like, here you go, and then run away forever. Like, buy some, because I feel like they're kind of overwhelmed now. Ever since, like, books became, like, a mainstream thing, like, reading is cool again, or whatever. But, like, basically what I'm saying is, don't just drop off your books, but also support people, support indie bookstores, okay, I'm getting off topic. Anyway, I feel like they are just very overwhelmed with the amount of books that are coming in. So if you buy books from them, they will give you a free book, and it's like wrapped up in paper. And like they always say like the paper matches like what's inside, like not like really like to like it'll like give it away, but like to the point where like you kind of like get the vibe, you know? So I picked up a book and I unwrapped it, and it was this book. And this is such a good copy. It's a hardcover. It's in pristine condition. Like I'm not finding honestly anything wrong with it. I think the universe is telling me to read this book, so I think I have to. It's one of the books I have on my list. We're starting the Twisted series. We are starting the Twisted series. That's all I'm gonna say about that. We're starting the Twisted series this spring. I'm excited. I really like Anna Huang. I've been reading her Kings of Sin series. I really like them. I hated book 2, loved book 1, was okay with book 3, and now I have book 4 and 5 to read. So yeah, I hear book 5 is like the best. This book I actually found at a used bookstore for like $8. How crazy is that? Like, what a nice copy. A hardcover of Taylor Jenkins Reid, of the Taylor Jenkins Reid, of The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. What? So nice, so beautiful. Look at that. Okay, yeah. I feel like everybody knows what this is about, including me. So, another book on my spring TBR. Hello Stranger by Catherine Center. Listen, I feel like her books are more like lighthearted than I was expecting. I read The Bodyguard by her, and I feel like it was very like lighthearted, but like it was serious at some points, but it was also lighthearted. I liked it. Don't get me wrong. But this book I know is about a boy and a girl, and she has facial blindness, so like she cannot recognize this man for the life of her. I want to read this book as well. I also found this at a secondhand bookstore. So such good finds, you know. I soft DNF'd because again I just wasn't in the mood for it. This is The Love That Split the World by Emily Henry. This is about a girl who gets adopted into a family, and she can like see a ghost. a singular ghost. And that's all I know about it. I think this is also Emily Henry's first book ever. So that's pretty cool. Tabitha Brown. This is another memoir. My husband loves Tabitha Brown. He loves her story about how she just felt like so gross and sick all the time that like she prayed and was like, God, what do I do? And like God like led her to veganism and then led her to like talk on camera and post like on Facebook Live and YouTube and Instagram and all this stuff. And like I feel like you know her. Like you know her. If you are on the internet during COVID, you know who this woman is. 100%. You know her and her husband. 100%. So when I started reading again, my husband got me this book by her. And I was like, baby, no nonfiction. What is your problem? But now I'm ready for it. You know? Last book in my spring TBR is Home Again by Kristen Hanna. In this classic romantic novel, Madeline Hyland is a brilliant cardiologist at the top of her game. A loving but overworked single mom, she is constantly at odds with her confused and angry daughter, Lena, a teenage rebel desperate to find the father she has never known. He is Angel DiMarchio, now a cynical, world-famous movie star living a shallow, glittering life. When tragedy brings them all together and Angel's damaged heart needs healing, Madeline must face the betrayals of the past and find the courage to love again. Wow. The cover is screaming summer, but this also might be for a video. Okay, so those were all of my books. How many were there? There are 35 books here. Do you think I'm going to read them all in spring? Do you think I'm going to read all these books in 3 months? 35 books in 3 months. 35 divided by 90 is... Let me try. 35 divided by 90 is... Have you seen that guy on Instagram who his name is Kabea, and like he's with this man who like gives him math problems, like, and they're like in like a random store, and he's like Kabea, what is 200 times 2? And he's like, let me think. And then he just pulls out his calculator like on the side and like types it in, and it's like, oh, I got it. That's what I feel like right now. What was I saying? 32 times 90. Let's go. 32 divided by 90. Why am I like this? Watch this. I have to read one every 3 days. I have to read one book in 3.5 days in order to read all the books in front of me. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do that. I know I'm not going to be able to do that. But that's okay. I can still try. This was fun. I had fun hanging out with you guys. I hope that you guys had fun hanging out with me. And I will see you guys in the next video.